Hello fans, and welcome to this week's edition of the Tiger Basketball Report. It is the postseason edition of the Tiger Basketball Report. As always, I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum, and joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Laura Harper, and coach, March Madness. It's here.
March is here. It's that time.
And let's take a quick step back. You finished with some momentum, beating Delaware in Delaware 69-59, 19-8 from Nays State, and we had talked about having to build momentum going into the tournament, trying to be the best version of you, and a solid game from the Tigers, double digits from India and Kayla, huge second half, down 9 at halftime. Just talk about that game and the team coming, and we've talked about it, fight. This team fights to the end, and they fought back in that second half.
Yeah, just when we talk about the resilience of our team and the second half performances that we've been privy of having throughout this season, I think for them to respond after Monmouth, it said a lot. I feel like we had a slow, lethargic start to the Delaware game, and I think it also just tribute to our depth. I felt like AJ really stepped up and was a big energy player. And at this time of the year, it's who's going to step up and provide that boost.
Yeah, the Tigers outscored Delaware 47-28 in the second half. And you mentioned AJ, 7-2 run in the third quarter, led by, it was AJ Jenkins in the third quarter. And she kind of was that energy. When you have depth players and bench players coming off it and being able to spark that kind of run, what does that do for the team? And then also just talk about AJ's ability to step up in that moment.
Of course, you think about the best teams in the country, I feel their strength, one, are inside and their strength are on their bench, so that they have, pop when things aren't going their way. And I think, AJ, I said at the end, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. She came off a DMP prior to Monmouth and was ready for Monmouth, ready for Delaware. And it just says a lot about who she is. And, bringing Nay off the bench, bringing Heidi off the bench, one could say we arguably have the deepest bench in the conference.
You cut the lead to 3 at the end of the third quarter, and close games in the fourth quarter have been a roller coaster this year for Towson. What was the difference in this game than in some of those other ones where you didn't come out on top?
Completely honest, I think India Johnson controlled the tempo of the game. She was strong and dominant and confident with the basketball. I think she made, very timely free throws, her and Nay both, and it felt like we had control of the game.
Kayla Morris back in double digits. We've spoken before. That's kind of been a rare occurrence for her, and she was injured earlier this year too. What does it take for Kayla to get that double-digit offensive performance? Because the defense for her is there. It's going to come. She's going to deter shots. She's going to make people go the other way. But the offense, if she can score, she's a tough matchup.
Of course. I think she has to make it 3 or 2. That's part of just the juice of what she brings. Her confidence comes from, shooting the basketball, and then she'll start making some layups and feeling strong, and her shot blocking ability, her rebounding ability. I know she just anchors so much of what we do inside.
So regular season is in the books. Everyone 0-0 now, and we've talked about the parity this year in the conference. Everyone has been in games with each other. Everyone has beaten each other. Just your thoughts on the way the bracket has shaped out after a lot of log jams and traffic towards the end of the season. Just your thought on the traffic and your draw and your path here in the tournament.
Of course, first of all, I like our path. I think ultimately this league has shown anyone can be anyone on any given night, and I think, from Northeastern to A&T, every team has had some notable wins. So, while we're playing on the first day, I think sometimes it's nice to play on the first day and get your flow going, see if you can get some chemistry going, and I just look forward to, I know that Northeastern will be ready for us. It's not easy ever to going against the team 3 times, in one season, but our team will be ready as well.
You beat me to it. It's hard playing a team and beating a team 3 times. What's the secret there, and what makes it hard, especially when you've been 2-0 against the team? Why does that make it hard for that team that is 2-0 to win that third game?
I think it goes down to adjustments. I think it also goes down to just players' interior motive to want to win. And, again, credit Northeastern's players. They have some seniors and their freshmen. Staten is playing exceptionally well inside. But, our players just have to combat that and be ready. And it's not about us versus Northeastern. It's about us and our team and, putting together 40 minutes.
As a player, you had success in tournaments, to say the least. And what does it take? Do you relay that to him? What does it take going into a tournament? It's it's day after day. It's a grind. There's not a lot of rest. what does it take from a mental standpoint to be ready come tournament play and to survive in that kind of atmosphere?
It's a mindset. It really is. And it's an internal, individual mindset as a player that you are stepping on the floor. This is business. You're giving everything out. And it's a refuse to lose and just having a sense of urgency of where we are. You can't do the same things you did, in the regular season. It's got to be a notch up.
And you mentioned you can't do the same things you did. You must be peeking at notes here. We know what Nay is capable of. India, Kayla, AJ, Deja Bristol, up and down the roster. You need more from everybody now. What are you looking from some of your leaders? What does India need to do extra? Because you can't be the normal regular season India Johnson. You can't be regular season Hadi Lay anymore. What are you looking for from those particular players or from anybody to take that next step and to keep your season going?
Well, first things first, India needs to play like an all-conference player since she wasn't recognized as one. She needs to play like one because she is. And she's our leader, and she's impacted this conference, and she'll continue to, and she needs to take that and show exactly who she is.
All right, Coach, it's tournament time.
It is. It's here. Win or go home.
All right, the Tigers will kick off their tournament on Wednesday at 4:30 against Northeastern. I'll have the call for you on TowsonTigers.com. For the head coach of the Tigers, Laura Harper, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.